All right. Hey, everybody. It's Cleta Colson-Eyre. It is April the 11th, 2021. And we are so excited because we have another, all right. Hey, everybody. We have another beautiful top director guest speaker. And I was thinking about this today. I thought, for the new consultants, they probably are like, don't really know the term like top director. I know I didn't know it. And then after I won one of the top director trips, I'm like, oh, I'm a top director. So that's when someone wins the top director trip, Mary Kay calls them top directors. And so anyway, it's pretty cool to have that little title. And we even have our own private little boxer group. And honestly, we work out more. If Mary Kay knew how much we depend on each other to get around, they'd be on the phone night and day, wouldn't they, Jennifer, with all the questions everybody has. So anyway, you guys, before we get her on the call, I want to just a couple little announcements. The first one thing that you want to be super excited about and intentional about is the bundles that are available right now, and the beauty bundles. And it is the 6 items that we have. It's regular $130 and you can get them for $99, and that is till the 15th or while supplies last. So let me just go ahead and tell you, a lot of times toward the end, they're like, we're done. And it's not that they're out of those products in particular, but they're out of what they allotted for the bundles. So you can each order up to 13 of those bundles. So what do they have in them? I'm so thankful that this time that they did the bundle, I don't mean it that way. Let me say it another way. I'm so thankful that it's products that we really sell a lot of. Because sometimes, they do a bundle that may be something that's cool, but we really don't sell that much of. So these are all like your favorite products, okay? It's the eye patches, the eye makeup remover, M-Clay black liner, the ultimate mascara. It's got the charcoal mask and the white tea citrus body cream. So every single one of them, there are no duds in the group. So a lot of people are doing them a lot of different ways. You can do them and sell them. I sold 2, like the whole set. I said, this is my deal. It's regular $130 and I sold them for $99. You can do whatever you want. A lot of people are splitting them up. Some people are kind of marketing them as a beautiful Mother's Day gift. And wouldn't any mother would be so happy to get that gift. And Mother's Day is in May, but it's right around the corner. So that's something you can think about. So you can pre-sell these, but you need to get on the stick and get them ordered, or you can just order them and then sell them all through. They're not going to go bad. And it's 13 charcoal masks. That's basically you just doing 13 people, because every single person buys a charcoal mask. In fact, I give away charcoal masks when they buy the skincare set a lot of times. So anyway, just want to put a little plug in for that. It's under limited edition. You'll see it on there. It's a fixed wholesale cost of $58.50, which is 55% off. Okay, so that's the scoop on the bundles. All right, so excited to welcome Jennifer Bouse. Jennifer and I are friends, and we have been on some of the top director trips together. And so I'm just so excited that she has agreed to be our speaker today. So let me tell you just a little bit about her, and she's going to go into a little more detail. She grew up in Willard, Missouri, and later was a 4th grade school teacher, a high school cheer coach, and a volleyball coach in Willard School District prior to her Mary Kay journey that she began in October of 1996. Jennifer's journey started when she was pregnant with her daughter, Kenzie, who is now 23. She worked just a couple days a week building her customer base. 2 years later, she became pregnant with her second daughter, Maddie, who is now 21. Her business began to take a whole new look as she was building a team along with a customer base. You could say she was really producing. Mary Kay used to say that. Now, when I say produce offspring, she goes, I don't mean the whole force to get pregnant at the same time. I can hear her saying that from stage. Anyway, when Maddie was 2 years old, she picked up her very first of many earned cars. She went into qualification to become a sales director and debuted as a sales director 3 months later in June of 2000. That year, she earned 2 more cars, 3 cars in 1 year, and picked up the prize Pink Cadillac in June of 2001. Since being a director, Jen's unit has been in a unit circle every single year, you guys. That is huge. Since debuting as a unit 20 years ago. So 20 years in the circle of achievement with a career high of $700,000 unit club and her highest monthly check of $12,792.20. let's just say 13,000. Okay. Her and her husband, Kirk, have enjoyed a trip to Maui, which was, Jen, that was my, my honeymoon. And so,
Yeah.
I took everyone with me on the honeymoon. She went to Maui 2 times and Rome, with all expenses paid by Mary Kay. She was able to take her family for a 10-day dream vacation to Disney World and SeaWorld in Florida when the girls were age 6 and 8. Through travel vouchers she won with Mary Kay. And one of her most fun awards was earning the New York Times Square Unit Contest in 2017. Her picture was on the huge Megatron. Y'all probably seen some of those in New York Times Square. From Thanksgiving to New Year's, all the girls in her family took a trip to New York for Christmas just to see her picture and celebrate. Her most recent award was earning the Destination Red, which was a couple years ago, an all-exclusive cruise to the Bahamas for her and her husband. And I don't know if we were on the same one, girl. We were on like the third one, I believe.
I was on the very first one.
You were. We did not make it. That's the one we wanted. Anyway, Jennifer's earned 8 diamond rings from her appearance in the Court of Sales, 97 quarters on the ladder of success, 12 career cars, and is currently driving her 10th pink Cadillac. Her unit qualified in June 2020 for the Cadillac Plus XT6. Whoop, whoop. I can't wait to pick mine up. She's been a double star achiever 5 times, an honorary member of the Fabulous 50s Club, and her most honored award in October 2007, this is no surprise to me, is the monthly Go Give Award by her sister. She was voted for by her sister consultants and directors. She'll tell you she loves everything about her business, but best prize of all is the woman she's come through her self-esteem, her self-growth, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and professionally. It brings joy to her heart to see other women she mentors have the same self-growth. Being able to put God first, family second, and career third has been very valuable as she's raised these 2 beautiful daughters, watching them develop into amazing young women, playing sports, traveling as a family. Jennifer and her husband, Kurt, celebrated their 27th wedding anniversary this year, and she is passionate about his ministry, Cross Trail Outfitters, where he mentors and disciples boys in their walk with the Lord. That's awesome, girl. I didn't know that. Through a hunting and a fishing club. Jen's hobby includes exploring new places, hiking, running half marathons, taking pictures, and being with friends and family. And she told me to use whatever I wanted to of her accolades. I just didn't know what to leave out. So I thought I'm going to read all of them. It's beautiful. So we can't wait to hear more about this fabulous woman. You guys, let's give a big boss babe welcome. You can put some hearts and claps on the screen for Jennifer Bouse from Willard, Missouri. Y'all give it up. Senior Sales Director. Take it over, girl.
Thank you, Cleta. I just have to say, you are one of the most go-give top directors that I have ever met. And I love getting to know you. You lift me up and make me better. So thank you for everything that you give to all of us, because you're always so amazing. Go give. You have great ideas and you're always just giving back. So love you.
Thank you.
And appreciate you so very much. So I really am honored. And I was telling Cleta that the last 3 or 4 years, we've had a lot of change going on in our life. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. But I've been praying that God would give me an opportunity to share my story and to encourage women by sharing my story and thoughts. And he's really just opened up that door. And so this is really, I'm like nervous because I haven't done this too much in the last few years, but I'm coming back and it's really exciting. And I love the journey that I have been on. And hopefully it will give you hope, because I've kind of broken in my 24 years into like 5 different sections. And what I want to say is that Mary Kay has been my lifeline for 24 years. And I looked up the meaning of lifeline, and it says used for saving or preserving life. And I would just definitely say that Mary Kay has saved my life in some ways. It's preserved my life for sure. But some other words that describe lifeline is rescue or help, support, a helping hand. And at these different phases in my Mary Kay career, Mary Kay has been a different lifeline. And so I just want to share that with you. I started 24 years ago. You've already heard my story. I was teaching and a mom, and my needs at that time were extra money and some friends, because I had quit my teaching job. I was loving the product because I had really bad acne. And I loved being able to use the product because it was making a difference. And I didn't want to be without it. And without my job, we were really pinching pennies. And so I needed to get the discount to be able to continue using the product. And so I became a consultant with really in mind that I was just going to service my friends and family that were already using it. And I was going to get my products at cost, maybe free if they ordered enough, right? And little did I know that Mary Kay was going to change my life. I started for the discount, but I continued for so many other reasons. I didn't realize that I needed an achievement. And a few years down the road, after I was building my customer base and I started building a team with really not even trying. I mean, I was working my business, but I was consistently holding 2 to 3 appointments a week because that's what my director told me to do. And it was letting me out of the house. I was building friendships. I was making money, and I was super excited. It was building that need or fulfilling that need in my life. And so as you heard, that year, 2000, I earned 3 cars in the year, became a director. We built a house, had my second baby. It was a really crazy year after I look back on it. But during that time, Mary Kay was my lifeline of just having extra money and meeting some friends. But then shortly after that, I started making good money, and I didn't know how to balance my checkbook. So therefore, I was making a lot of mistakes in money. And so during this time, the second part of my career, the lifeline that Mary Kay gave me was godly wisdom and tools to manage life. And my director was National Sales Director Asina Brock. She was a godly woman who really instilled in me just being a woman of excellence with my whole life, not just with part of my life. And part of that was her wisdom in doing life, being a wife, being a mom, balancing my checkbook. But I have found myself that I was way into debt because I was mismanaging my finances. I overspent. Then I had a fluctuation in my income. And this happened years and years and years. And so I got in trouble emotionally, mentally, and honestly, in my marriage, we were really close to divorce. And I really believe that because of my Mary Kay business, and of course, my amazing husband, who was willing to stick it out with me, I made some changes. I learned discipline in my finances, and through all of that, became better at managing my money. And we went through a period of time where my money was paying off debt. And so then comes in the next phase of my Mary Kay career. My kids were involved and busy. I was wanting to be a homeroom mom. I was wanting to be at every game. I'm sure you guys have been in that place where you want to be at everything, right? But during this time, the lifeline that Mary Kay gave me was a community to belong to, friendships, and really raising me to excellence, being better, really just the desire and the passion to be better, be a better mom, be a better wife, be a better Christian. And then the flexibility because my kids were involved. We were earning top director trips. My husband's business was going great. We were paying off debt. We were traveling. And during this time, we would go on trips and visit people, and I'd work my Mary Kay business. And so I was just having fun. I was having fun, and things were good. And then a few years down the road, my husband was called into full-time ministry. And bam, just like that, Mary Kay became our only income. He sold his business and became the stay-at-home dad. But he wasn't really a stay-at-home dad. He wanted to help me decorate, and he wanted to tell me how to run my office, and that was not working out too well. I'm like, you got to find something to do. And so he did. God showed up and showed him Cross Trail Outfitters, and he merged two of his loves, which is Jesus and hunting and fishing. And now he mentors boys in their walk with Christ through a hunting and fishing club, which is where he is right now, actually. But during this time, the lifeline that Mary Kay gave me was food on the table, and unlimited income potential, and still flexibility, that I could still be the mom that I wanted to be. And I love my life. I love my life. And I'm so thankful that Mary Kay has been a part of my life, because I don't know where I would be. 24 years ago, I was a hot mess. Well, I'm still a hot mess once in a while, but but I really shudder to think where I would be without my Mary Kay business. But Mary Kay became our only income for a while, and I was able to support him in his ministry and his passion, but I was able to be there with my kids. And that was a time of really figuring things out, like, okay, time management was at its ultimate best during that time, because I was trying to do a lot of different things, for sure. And a few years down the road, you find us now, and we're seeing empty nesting. It's like being 18 again. We love being together. But it's nice to belong to a community. I see so many women my age that are not necessarily in love with their husbands anymore. They're at a place where they don't have a community to belong to, and they find themselves in a really hard place, because they don't think too highly of themselves. They don't have a passion. They're just going along every day. And I can say that Mary Kay's lifeline right now is the community. And really, we are planning for the future. We're stacking money and planning for retirement. But a few years ago, which brings me to what I was saying earlier, my daughter went off to college. She graduated a semester early from high school. She was pursuing a volleyball career at a Division I level. And when she got there, things did not go as she had planned. And she was diagnosed about 8 months after she was there with depression, clinical depression. We did not know what was going on. We thought it was hormones. We really weren't sure. But there were times that all I could do was literally pray for her, think about her, talk to her on the phone, look at Life 360. Where is she? She would call us. She didn't know where she was. She's a very, very bright A+ student. And for her to be driving and not know where she is was obviously not her normal. And one night she called. These are the two nights that really stuck out to me. But I mean, there were lots of tears and lots of other nights too. But the two that stuck out to me was one night really, she called me, and she had read this book, but she could not get the words from her head to the paper. And that night, it was the last day of the month, because I'll never forget, I was up, and it was like 11 p.m. and I helped her write a paper till 3 o'clock in the morning that I'd never read the book of. that was called BS 101 right there. And and we wrote a paper together. I just kept asking her questions, and she finally got enough out that we could write the paper. And it was a really, really hard struggle for me as a mom, because I had another daughter that was, in her senior year of high school. She was living, her life of being a senior and excited about the next journey. And then I had the other daughter who was 6 hours from home and scared and depressed, and I wasn't sure what the next day was going to hold for her. And so my business was at a place that I really I could not work, and it was kind of sustaining itself. I was in and out of working. I really wasn't present for a lot of things mentally and emotionally, and I was kind of just going through the motion. And 2 years ago, she left that school. Finally, God released her of that, and she came home, closer to home, and finished her undergraduate degree. And then she went to California to do an internship with FCA volleyball, and that changed her life. And she went through some forgiveness that she needed to go through. And she's back in California. I just got off the phone with her, actually. She's doing really, really great. And just to see my Mary Kay business supporting me in things I'm teaching my children is really a paycheck of the heart, because I don't think that I would have gone through that situation with my daughter and at home the same way that I would have without my Mary Kay business, my Mary Kay family, my community, my supporters, my prayer partners, all those people in my life that care for me deeply, to the point that they're willing to go to the Lord on my behalf. And we've all been through COVID this last year. And so really just the hope for the future, but still having that, of course, the discount for sure, right? But the friendships, the money potential, the flexibility, the community, being able to give back to others, having achievement in your life, using this for ministry and making others feel beautiful. Just this weekend, I know we all have probably people in our life that in the beginning of our Mary Kay career, they weren't super excited about your business. They didn't want to try Mary Kay, right? And some of those are even family members. And I have to say that one of my dearest people in my life did not want anything to do with Mary Kay. And her daughter got married yesterday. And about 2 months ago, she called me in a panic because she felt like she looked old. And we started her on the time-wise repair. And in 2 months, she was looking awesome. I did her makeup yesterday for the wedding, and she could not stop telling me how beautiful she felt. And that was like such a joy to me to see. I mean, yeah, there were moments that I was frustrated because she wouldn't give me the time of day in my business. But really to have that moment of just making her feel special yesterday and being the mom of the bride, going in with confidence and feeling beautiful was just, it was awesome. I loved that. So that is a little bit about me. And I do have some training that I want to share with you. And I'm going to share what I shared on the Top Director Boxer group this week that Cleta asked me to share on. I am old school, so some of this is probably going to be boring to you guys that have been in Mary Kay for very long, because I'm all about the basics. And that's what really this is. Thank you, Cleta. So I want to share with you about an opening and closing. And I am going to tell you that I work my business both virtually and in person. I am in Missouri, which is probably, for some of you, less of a mandate than others because we really haven't had, I mean, we were closed for a while, but we have been able to meet in person for a little while now. And we give people the option of meeting in person or virtually. And I think I saw Audie on there, right? Audie, are you on there? Hi. She's from my town too. But anyway, Mary Kay Ash was so smart, and I feel like her teaching is still relevant today. I have made a few tweaks, but in general, everything is really very similar. And so she's always told us to have an opening, and that opening is, I'm sorry, I've got my notes here. I just want to make sure I'm sharing them all because I laid those out there. So first of all, the opening of your party, whether it's virtually or in person, is really setting you up for closing. So your opening is very important. And I have an opening that I say, yes, I use the flip chart still. I love the flip chart because if you haven't noticed, I'm a little bit of an I personality and I can literally get off track super easy. And so there's a few reasons why I use the flip chart. That is the number one reason. But the other reason is because I want people to see that they can do it too. And so I love the flip chart for that reason. And this is what I say in my closing. So of course, welcome everyone. Super excited to have you tonight, and thank Leah, my hostess, for having you. And this is whether I do it virtually or in person. I do the exact same thing, okay? And Mary Kay allows us to give you two facials. The first one is to introduce you to the product and do a basic glamour look, or an advanced skincare treatment. The second is to make sure that the product you take home with you today is working correctly, and to give you an advanced glamour look or to try some different awesome products at that second appointment. The follow-up facial is your 100% guarantee on the product. So we're going to play a game today. I like to play games. I think it's fun. It gets them engaged and it gets them hearing the word follow-up facial over and over and over. So at the very end, they're going to know, oh, that's follow-up facial. That's what I'm going to schedule next. And so every time you hear me say the word follow-up facial, the first person to raise your hand is going to get a ticket. And at the end of the party, I will be drawing tickets for the winner of this beautiful prize. Of course, that you can't live without. So then I explain what we're going to do for that, whether it's spa or fragrance or whatever you're doing. And then we'll schedule your follow-up facial. So if you're doing this virtually, it's super easy because of the reactions. If you have your screen set on gallery view, then you can see everybody in your window. And when you say follow-up facial, all they have to do is hit the heart button or the thumbs up button. Okay. So you can see who hits it first. Okay. And then their name would get on a ticket. Okay. So I don't know about you guys, but when I have tickets, even in virtual times, okay, virtual appointments, tickets mean what? Prizes, right? Fun. It brings people back to carnival time or, fun things in their life, right? And so they love tickets. And I know that it's easier to do the random drawing, where you like click the app or whatever. But I have just found that the tickets work so well and people love them and they love seeing their name on a ticket. They love being drawn. Like they love to see that. And so whether it's in person or whether it's virtual, I still use tickets. And it does take a little bit more time and a little bit more organization, but I do that. Now, I don't, obviously, if it's virtual, I don't tear them in half and give them one. I just put their name on it, of course. But if I'm doing it in person, then of course I take these in half, right? And then they get one and I put the other one in the basket. So that's going to kind of come around to the closing. I'll show you more what I do with the tickets, but throughout the party, I am saying follow-up facial. And I actually have these little stickers on my website. I don't have them right here, but there's like 30 ways to say follow-up facial. And you can just print them off onto labels, like, address labels. You can print those off and you can stick them onto your chart, your flip chart. You can put those stickers on there, and then ways to say follow-up facial. So throughout the party, you're saying follow-up facial, like throughout the whole time. And they know by the end of the party why you're doing a follow-up facial, right? Because it's a 100% guarantee, so they can try more product. It's about customer service. It's not about you getting a party. It's about customer service. And so I love that. It has worked for me for 24 years and that's why I still do it. But I love it. Okay. So next I want to talk about, let's see, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. So you've done your body of your party, whatever it is, whether it's skincare or glamour or whatever. I do want to tell you ahead of time that I have, Cleta has copy, or I have them on my website, but I have certain things that I put in their packet. So if I'm sending out packets for virtual parties, I send out this closing sheet here. Okay. And then I also send out the roll-up bag closing sheet, which I'm sure you guys probably already have that. And then I have the party menu, which you're going to see shortly. I have that. And so I send that with the samples. So they have that ahead of time. And honestly, we've been doing skincare packets with the strip of skincare, and they get to choose one mask. They can choose charcoal, microderm, or gel mask with the skincare and the papers, and it only takes a stamp. So we have been really excited about that we're, it depends on the post office, I have to say. Sometimes they want to send it non-machinable, which is a little bit more expensive, but either way, it's less than $1 for each packet. And that is super great. So they have all of the packet information there, which I definitely go through when I'm doing a virtual party. But in person, of course, I'm doing it just like a regular party. Now, this is where I think a lot of people have found certain things that work for you, whether you're doing it personally, in person or virtually. And I just have not really changed anything. I've done it the same, and it's worked well for us. And so I'm just going to share with you what I do. But for sure, if you have something that's working great for you, don't change it. I know there's 100 different ways out there that's working for people. So my way is not the only way, but if you can take a small portion of something that I say and it helps you, then I hope that it can. So of course, the table close, we all know what the table close is, right? And so if they're in person, they have their trays out and it's kind of messy, right? The table's kind of messy because you've been doing all this stuff. And I want to help clear the table, right? If they're or if they're virtual, then same thing. I'm going to give them some time to do this. So the first thing that I pass out is this, it's really a referral sheet, but I don't call it the referral sheet. I either call it a gift of friendship or I call it the nomination sheet. And we changed those words a few years ago because we were getting stuck with the word referral, and people, weren't wanting to give referrals. So we changed it to a gift of friendship, and then we changed it to nominations, and both really work really well. And so what I say is, who do you know? Who do you know that would love a gift of friendship of pampering. You know, what do we do as friends, right? We go to the bathroom together, we go get pedicures together, we go to dinner together, we do everything together, right? And so why wouldn't they want a spa treatment together? Who do you know that would want to join you on your follow-up facial, right? And so these are nominations. They can nominate somebody for pampering, or they can give the gift of friendship. And so that's what we use. And if it's in person, I give them this sheet, and I'm cleaning up the table while they are writing names down. Now, I have a Spotify account. I don't know what you guys use for music on your phone, but you got to download some fun songs like Walking on Sunshine, Cupid Shuffle, Happy, any of those songs, and just play one song, okay? Because first of all, if there's music playing, they can't talk to each other as far as like talk each other out of it. Okay, because they're listening to the music, they're happy, they're just going to start writing. And so they can start writing down, and then right here in the section, tell me more about it, they can write if that person is out of town. And I tell them with the virtual option now, literally your best friend from, you know, Hawaii could do a virtual appointment. And so write your favorite 12 people or your favorite 20 people or whatever. And so they're writing these numbers down. And again, if it's virtual, I play a song and I give them the song to write down their names. Now, the difference would be they would take a picture of it and send it to me, or they could send it to their consultant if I'm doing a unit party, right? So they're going to take a picture of it and send it to their consultant. And then I would start writing names down for the tickets, okay, for the virtual appointments. Okay. Any questions on that yet? Okay, I'll open it up for questions later just in case. But okay, so then they're gonna flip their paper over. And this is what I was sharing with the directors the other day. I made a party menu, and one side is virtual parties and the other side is in person, because now, I mean, really, we have both options, right? And so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different virtual party options, and there's 5 different in-person parties. Okay. And it does give an explanation, this little card. Now they can keep this card, but I usually collect them back because I don't necessarily need it. But this sheet on the back is exactly the same thing that the party menu is. And so it just explains what it is, like basic skincare and basic glamour, PJs and pampering, ultimate spa experience, waterless pedicures, which is one of my favorites, I'll have to say, and then glamour workshop, and then virtual parties, 5 and 5, basic skincare and basic glamour, multi-masking, glamour workshop, special occasion, and Facebook posting party. Okay, so, oh, thank you. Awesome. Okay. So what they're going to do is they're going to write down here. One thing I forgot to tell you is when they write a name and number down, they get a ticket per name and number. Okay. And then on the back, when they mark what they'd like to do at their follow-up facial, they get 1 ticket for scheduling a one-on-one, and they get 3 tickets for scheduling a have 3 to 5 friends. Okay. So they're going to get tickets towards that. And of course, they're just getting tickets, like, you know, all the time because they love it. They love it. And then let me see if I missed anything here. Okay. Okay. Then after we give those tickets out, then I say, okay, I have 3 tickets or 5 tickets for questions. You can ask me anything that you want to ask me about my business. Okay. So I give them an opportunity to ask me questions about the business, and I give those 5 tickets out. And then at the bottom here, it says A, B, or C. Okay. And of course, you guys know what A, B, and C means, right? But they get 3 bonus tickets for a B, and a B would be attending another marketing event or a Pearl party or coffee. And of course, if they mark A, they get 3 tickets plus a signing bonus. So I talk about that, and they get their tickets. Okay. And then that is when I do the drawing for the prize. Okay. I still have not talked about purchasing product. Okay. I still haven't done that. They don't have a book. They've not even seen prices at all. All right. And so I go ahead and draw for the prizes. And then I'm like, oh, Susie Q is our winner. And this is what she's won, you know. All right. Well, I am sure you guys are dying to know how to get this product and take it home with you or order it, right? And so pull out this sheet that says create your own roll-up bag if that's virtual. If it's not virtual, then I have these little placemats that I pull out, and they're just in this little plastic folder. One side is the starter kit and one side is the roll-up bag. This is my spa one. This is my regular one. And both of those are in that Google Drive there. The spa experience one is what I use for the waterless pedicures or the pajama parties, because it has that stuff on there. So, so then I go through the roll-up bag, which I'm sure you guys have seen that before. And of course, show them the roll-up bag and how it works and the different, sets that they could utilize and all of that. And of course, ask for questions if they have any questions. Tell about your hostess plan. What is your hostess plan? I personally use the 80 for 40, and it's a deal they can't refuse. I sell product because they want the deals, and I love getting full-fledged people on all of our product. And so I sell roll-up bags because it's a deal they can't refuse. And so I give them their hostess credit, the 80 for 40, in addition to this discount. Now, if you don't have product on your shelf, you don't have inventory, I would not suggest that. I would suggest doing something like, one or the other, or something different. Ask your director, or I could give you some ideas later. But, I have product on my shelf, and I am at a skincare class because I want to find new team members and sell some product and get future bookings. And so I'm not all about, making as much money as I can at the party. I really want to have the referrals. I want to have the future parties bookings, and I want to get team members. So I know if it's a deal they can't refuse, they're going to be apt to really listen. So then it comes up with the follow-up, and that is really where the fortune is. The fortune is in the follow-up, which is afterwards, then calling all of your guests from your virtual party. You can text if you have to, but of course, calling is better. And the thing of it is you've already got what they want to do here because she sent you a picture of it. Or you can use the chat feature for them to mark or tell you what party they want to do and what tickets to put in. But they've already sent you a picture, so you already have their guest list. This is their guest list for their party, or it's nominations, right? And then you have what they want to do for their follow-up facial, and you have interviews and team members. Okay, so you've already got this. So when you do the call, you're like, okay, I'm super excited. I see that you want to do the pajama party next, and you get the date. What product would you like to start with tonight? And it goes super fast because you've already got all of that information there, and you don't have to talk about it, So I don't know. I hope that explains everything well. Hopefully you have some questions that I can answer. I felt like I went through that super fast. So who has questions?
Okay, first of all, I think it was great. And one of the things I really like about it is that, let me just join you here. One of the things I really like about it is the consistency of what you do at every single party. Like, this is what you do it over and over and over. Plus, it's easy to teach your new people. This is what I do. I do it every it might be a different party, but you do the opening and the close. And
That's
so
right.
first of all, I want to thank you for the Google Doc. She shared this on the Top Director Box, and I thought that's so good. And the little things that she made with the different ideas of which parties, they're so cute, you know. So why, like when you have a cute friend that does cute flyers, you take them. She gives them. But anyway, so the Google Doc is right here. I will also post it on YouTube. I posted in the chat on YouTube, but I will post it in the description of this video after we get off the call. So you don't have to, if you're watching the video, girls, y'all just, for my YouTubers, just look at the description, you'll see the Google Doc. But I just want, we'll open it up to questions and then we'll kind of affirm this beautiful woman. So who has some questions that just any of you just unmute, you can just ask away. She did a great job. She's very thorough. But
hi, Jennifer. I had a quick question for you at the close. Thank you so much. My hand is killing me from writing so many notes. Thank you so much. So I was doing that 80 for 40, and I'm curious if you could walk me through that, because what I was getting hung up on was I would book the second appointment, and then when it was time for them to buy a roll up and then book the second appointment, the 80 for 40, they would say, oh, I'll just wait and get my 80 for 40. And I was trying to figure out how to use the words to say, yeah, no, you need to get something today and then you do the 80 for 40 later. Could you walk me through that?
Sure. So when they're closing, I actually have cards that say 80 for 40, and I have these two cards, and I put these on the table with them so they can see it. And so they can actually take advantage of the 80 for 40. But if they purchase a roll-up bag, I let them take the $40 off the roll-up bag. Now they're getting this ahead of time, right? It's like their hostess credit. And then at their party, they are getting a half price item for 3 people in attendance, or they're getting a free item up to $50 for free if they have 6. So I have stickers. Again, I have those label stickers that say, let me see if I can find them. But basically it says, if you, and I kind of joke, but they know I'm serious. Like, okay, so you're taking advantage of this ahead of time. And if for some reason you don't hold your party, you owe me $40.
Yep.
Okay. And they know that I have a sticker that says it. So on their receipt, I put the sticker with their time of their party. But like I said, it is an offer that they can't refuse, because they're getting that. Let's just say they did the $199. They're getting the $199 minus $40, which is $159. Basically, they're getting, like, I mean, you're not losing money. That's the thing, is you're not losing money, but they're getting a super good deal. But that's the thing, is that's their hostess. So you have an insured party in the future, right? So for me, I may not be making as much money up front, but I know I have a future booking, and not everybody is going to do that, right? So you're still making money. You're just not making as much as you would have, but you also have a customer that's on everything, right? Which is a better potential recruit, I think. So that's why, to me, I like make a big deal about it. You guys, this is an awesome deal for, if you schedule that follow-up facial with 3 to 5 friends, you could take advantage of this and the roll-up bag tonight. And they just are like, oh my goodness, that is awesome, And then I have only had one person who's had to pay me $40. And she was like, it's not that I don't want to hold the party. Something happened, like a death or something, and then we just couldn't get it back on the schedule because kids were busy and stuff. So she paid me $40, and she's like, I'll do this in a few months. And I'm like, that's fine. So, I don't make it a big deal because she's still on all that product. But I have never really had to get a lot of referrals, as far as I have bookings all the time on my books, because the way I do it, I just don't ever have to go out and warm chat, or I don't have to do any of that. I've just learned that, I don't know, skill of rebooking, I guess.
Mhm.
So, and I love that because I don't really love dorm chatter. So does that help, Maureen?
Yes, thank you so much. That clears up.
Okay.
So if they were to get the roll up for $199, they can take advantage of the 80 for 40, get 40 off that.
Yep.
And that's their hostess. And then you do something a little different for when they do book with or meet with you, a half off item. And then, okay, super cool. Yes,
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you for all the information in the Google Docs. I super duper appreciate it. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Okay, any more questions that you thought of? You know, one
I
thing
have
I
a
was,
question.
go ahead.
If no one asks questions, about the opportunity, do you just have like maybe 5 points that you always state just to put it out there, or how do you overcome that if it's a quiet group?
That's a really good question. I don't think I've ever had that happen before. I don't know. I would probably just say, like, to my hostess, like, let's just say her name's Leah. That was my last hostess. Hey, Leah, were you asking me just a minute ago, like, how much it costs to get started? You know, like I would give her the first ticket. And then, I mean, most of the time somebody has a question, but I might just say, okay, nobody has a question. That's great. You know, I might just give a couple of tickets away like that and then move on.
You know what? Also, like Shug, you could just tell them, like I call people out. So like if we were doing this right now, I would say, okay, Sharon, I know you have a question. You can ask me anything you want to know at all. And so if you
Right.
can't think of one, I'm going to make up one for you because you've got to have a ticket in front of you. And I would just make
True.
up, I would say, oh, did you want to
Yeah.
ask me what my highest check is? Well, I'll be glad to tell you, you know, or I would make up something that I
Yeah.
want them to ask. And so, Shug, you're just going to have to like squeeze them a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's good, Cleta, for sure.
Okay,
Okay.
who else has a question? All right. Well, you know what? We're getting close to time anyway, but I want to have our sales directors that are on here. I would love for you just let's give this beautiful woman some love. Jennifer, I just love your story and just, you know, can y'all just tell how passionate she was about her Mary Kay business and how she just you know, when you love your Mary Kay so much that it makes you tear up, and we're all that way. We just, when we think about if I didn't have it, what would I be like now? And what you went through with your daughter and just everything, and how Mary Kay has helped you through all that. And your finances, gosh, you know, let's go ahead and just say, yes, I should have just been raising my hand right there with you. I did the same thing. And so thank you for your encouragement for all of that. I really loved your whole story. I love that you brought it back to the basics. And for the referrals, I always used to play the song and do the game. But I have not really been doing that on the virtuals like I should have. So thank you for that reminder on that. And just the fact that you have it so concise of what to mail. I love that part. But let's let someone else. Sayla, you want to jump in there first?
Hey, Jennifer, thank you so much for sharing your story, especially how you broke it up during the different seasons of your life. Because if you've been in Mary Kay for any time at all, we've all walked through those seasons. My children grew up in Mary Kay, and certainly I thought the times when they were younger were the difficult times. But oh my gosh, since they've gotten to be adults, Mary Kay has been, I don't know where I would be without it because of the sisterhood, the attitude of the company has allowed me to have and my children to have. So thank you for sharing that, especially with your daughter. I have a son that kind of walked through some of that, and it is very scary. And you look around and you're thankful to have women of God surrounding you. So, and then just your conciseness of the party is awesome. I am not very detailed, and so to have it all in one spot, that is awesome. Thank you. You're an inspiration.
Oh, thank you. I love your name, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay. Who else?
Hey, I'll go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. My name's Lori, and I'm one of Cleta's offspring as well. And just thank you for sharing your heart. And I love the fact that it is just back to basics. And Mary Kay was so wise on what she started, how she started the company and the principles then, and that they are timeless. And, you know, we can do a lot of different things, but the core things of just helping people and saying what you're going to say, saying it, and then recapping it at the end and telling them how to do it is great. And I'll tell you, just in watching you, I've heard the phrase behind you, you know, at seminars and different other times, but seeing it behind your desk, I just typed it out on a Word document for me too. I am where I am by the choices that I've made or the choices that I've allowed others to make too. So that's a reminder that I needed tonight. So thank you for just being open and willing to share with us tonight. Thank you so much.
So sweet. Thank you. Thank
You know, didn't Linda Tupin coin that?
Mhm.
And she's coming here this
Yeah.
weekend. So we're going to get our ears full of that little phrase, I believe. And so
Oh, yeah.
I was reading that too, Lori. And by the way, Lori, your camera is on point tonight. Like, it is so clear. I don't know if you got a new computer, but I'm telling you, or new internet, but it is like, it's like you're right here. So awesome. Okay. Connie,
Hey, Cleta,
Sharon,
I forgot to share something.
go ahead.
I wanted to share this story. I meant to share this earlier, but this is one of my favorite books called Uninvited by Lisa TerKeurst. She's one of my favorite authors, and every single woman in America needs this book at some point in their life. It's just really, really awesome. And she shares this story. I wanted to share this super quick. It's like one minute. It's like the crazy notion I had as a little girl that ballerinas could fly. I wanted to fly, so I begged my mom for lessons and pink shoes. I wore myself out from all the leaping. Sure, I caught a bit of brief air, but never did I soar. I simply landed with a thud. There was something crucial I misunderstood. A real ballerina doesn't attempt to fly. She simply infuses each movement with such grace that the audience scarcely remembers she's as much a victim of gravity as we are. But make no mistake what you're observing when you watch her effortless elegance and softness. Underneath those floating layers of tulle perched on top of pink ribbon shoes is a soul full of disciplined grit and toes bloody from the daily practice floor. And I thought that was so good because you guys see the pink Cadillacs and all the fluff and all the, you know, fanciness of that. And you just think that it happens, but really underneath it was some grit, some, you know, heartache, some journey, some no's, some yeses. And Hebrews 12:11 says it the best. No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful later on. However, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. And that's one of my favorite verses. And that paragraph just made me think of sometimes you guys see, you know, those that are at the top and you think that it's really different than what it is. And, you know, we have bloody knees and we have, you know, broken hearts sometimes, and we just keep going. And the difference is the daily discipline of just continuing to work the business. So just keep going. Just keep going.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Connie, I'd like to say something. I mean, Cleta,
Go ahead.
this Sharon Strasberg, just really quick, that I was on the cruise and I was on the first cruise. So I wish I
That's awesome.
known all of this already. So, but thank you
That's
very
so
much for
great.
telling us this. There's a lot of wonderful information today. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon.
Jennifer, my name is Rosie Kane. I'm from Junction City, Kansas. So I guess we're kind of neighbors in a way.
Yeah.
Where are you from in Missouri?
Springfield.
And where? Springfield. Okay. Home of the Throwed Rolls. Well, one of the homes.
Yes, Bass Pro.
So I just wanted to thank you. I think that what you know, when you were telling your story, there was just so much emotion. And I mean, I think I know that as you were talking, I kept getting closer to the screen. Like, I don't know what I mean, I was really listening intently and, talking about the different times in your life that Mary Kay has been a lifeline for you is just so, it's so true. And I've only been in Mary Kay less than 6 years, and I've already had many lifelines, just in that short time, because I've been at different stages of my life. And I was a teacher at one time too. I taught kindergarten, and I don't know why I threw that out there, but I like hearing from people who used to be teachers that are Mary Kay. It kind of fascinates me. But anyway, like I said, I want to thank you for that, and just, sharing with us, and the fact that it isn't all roses, that, there was a lot of this, it wasn't just this. And I think that that's good for all of us to remember, because sometimes it's hard to remember that, or it's hard for us to even understand how somebody maybe in your position or in Cleta's position or whoever, that they had valleys, not just the peaks. So anyway, thank you so much. I loved your ideas, and I love, like Cleta said, they're really cute, and I can't wait to get them so I can print them out. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rosie. Connie?
Yes, thank you. So I kept unmuting myself and then muting again. But Jennifer, thank you so much for sharing your story. I really do believe, like everyone else said, that that it resonates with all of us. All of us have been through one or maybe multiple of those same kind of journeys. So I wanted to say thank you for that. And I also want to say I love your brilliant idea of calling the referrals nominations. I think that is such a great, or a gift of friendship. I mean, I've sent the gift of friendship, I think maybe before, but making that instead of calling the sheet, the fabulous referral sheet or whatever, I think that's a great idea, because in today's world, people are afraid to share information, with other people. And so nominating them to be at their party, to me, that's, I don't know why I never thought of that my own self, to say, oh, well, you're just nominating them so that they will be at your follow-up appointment. So that was great. And I can't wait to get on the Google form and look at the, at your little sheets as well. I'm always looking for something cute. And thank you for, I'm like Cleta, I haven't been playing music. In giving them the time. I always did that for my in-person parties, but I haven't been doing that for my on video parties. So thank you for reminding us to go back to doing what we did in person, just incorporating it virtually.
Yeah, awesome. Connie, what's funny about that, the nomination thing, is I was sitting at a coaching appointment with one of my consultants, and she was struggling with getting referrals because of that word, referral. And so we were like brainstorming, what could we call it besides referrals and it mean the same thing? And I said, what about, like, you nominate them? Like, it was just totally like just a God word. And she was like, I can do that. I could ask them for nominations. I could totally do that. And it totally changed the outcome of her parties because of that one word. So
Yeah.
it was a really, like, just a God moment.
I love it. Thank you.
I love it. Okay, you guys. Well, we are just about out of time. So I just want to thank Jennifer again. Let me put her up here with me. Jennifer, I just want to thank you again for just taking an hour out of your life, honestly, and the time that obviously you prepared. And so I thank you for that hour as well. And I'm just glad that we could get to know each other better. And I cannot wait till we actually can have a trip where we get to go together. So anyway.
Yes, Cleta, thank you so much. I'm really honored that you asked me to be on tonight.
Well, I loved having you, and I'm sure we all got so much out of it. And so you guys, let's just give her a big virtual hand. And here's the thing. We can get fat with knowledge, but it's only going to help us if we use it. I mean, like, I can tell you, like, you can have a file cabinet full of ideas, but if you don't ever use them, it's just a piece of paper. You might as well burn it. You might as well take your little notebook and take your little trash can and just throw it in there. So I want to challenge each of you to use what we've learned tonight at your next virtual or in-person appointment. And if you don't have one, to book one and just say, look, I'm just going to try it. I'm just going to try it with 5 people. and see what happens. And just, if you get nervous, take your flip chart out, that one that's been stuffed in the corner for 2 years, pull it out. And we used to do it. I mean, Salem knows we would do it in our unit meetings till our unit was sick of it. But honestly, every single person in our unit could do a party. I mean, like, you know, and our businesses all grew during that time, that is what we used all the time. So, and for those of you that are super digital, let me just pull this out, that there is a digital showcase with a flip chart on there. And so if you are super digital and you wanted to share your screen with some of the pictures, you can go to your digital showcase on your phone or an iPad and you can pull that up as well. But you don't have to get fancy to sell product, to get recruits, and to become a top director like Jennifer, right? You just have to be cute like Jennifer. So anyway, we thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your month. And for all of you coming to Valdosta this weekend for our Linda Tupin event, I cannot wait to give you a big fat hug. So don't even try to run from me, and don't give me no fist, and don't give me no elbow or no leg, because I'm coming for you. And I cannot wait. So I'll see most of you and a lot of you this weekend. We cannot wait to see you. And Jennifer, thank you again. So thank you, everybody. Have a great week. And